Hey there, Costa Mesa. Today is Thursday, September 24th. I'm Dane Bora, and this is your Costa Mesa Minute. Congratulations to Coach Glenn Fisher and the Costa Mesa Mustangs, who with last week's victory over Los Amigos, not only improved to 3-1, they also handed me my first loss of the season. That's right, I had the Mustangs losing to the Lobos, and Mesa made me look foolish. Well done, boys. Can they do it again? We'll have to wait a bit because I'm going to start with our two games that will be played under the Friday night lights. Over at Estancia, Coach Mike Vargas and the Eagles entered their Friday night home clash with University at 1-2 following last week's loss to Irvine. This week, in the Trojans, the Eagles face another team from the city of Irvine and another team from the always tough Pacific Coast League. Last year, Estancia snapped a 4-season losing streak to the Trojans with the convincing 35-10 victory. But this year's Uni team is much better and enters the contest 3-0 following last week's tough one-point victory over Calvary. Estancia comes in a bit banged up and will have to do a much better job of holding on to the football and cleaning up the special teams. Last week they lost by 10 and gave up 2 special teams touchdowns and had a missed field goal. That cannot happen again if they are going to beat a good Uni team. And while I think they do a better job on special teams, it's still not enough against the Trojans. Uni 27-23. Across town at Newport Harbor, Coach Jeff Brinkley's Sailors look to bounce back from last week's loss to CDM in the annual Battle of the Bay. And unfortunately, the schedule doesn't get much easier as they have to travel south to San Clemente for a matchup against last year's CIF runner-up. Sure, that was last year, and yes, quarterback Sam Darnold is now at USC, but the Tritons have 8 returning starters on offense, have D1 talent throughout the lineup, and are ranked number 2 in the Southwest Division. For the Sailors, the offense needs to get back on track after posting just a field goal last week. And if the Tritons have a weak spot, it's on defense. But that's if they have a weak spot. And I think the Sailors play better, but it's still not good enough. San Clemente 24, Newport 13. The Costa Mesa Mustangs are 3-1 for just the second time in 14 years and travel to Glover Stadium in Anaheim for a Saturday night matchup against Savannah, who enters at 1-2 and fresh off a 42-9 loss to Orange. Last week for the Mustangs, it was the Cameron Corrett show, and rumor has it C-Squared may have been a bit ticked off at me for picking against the Mustangs. I'm just glad you're watching, Cam. Corrett scored 4 touchdowns and filled in for the injured sophomore quarterback Ben Swanson, who was having a good game in his own right, throwing for 183 yards and 2 scores in little more than half the game. This is the Mustangs' final non-league contest, and at this point, while a victory will be nice, staying healthy and getting healthy are equally important if Mesa is going to accomplish what they think they can in the Orange Coast League. And I think they head into their bye week at 4-1. Mesa 33-16. And that's Costa Mesa High School football this week. I'm Dane Bora. If it happens on the gridiron in Costa Mesa, it's news to us. I'll see you tomorrow.